Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Anya. Really excited for today's video. If you guys watched my BoxyCharm 3-month update, you will know that I fell in love with one of the palettes that were sent to me, and it is the Winky Lux Kitten Palette. I have been really enjoying this palette so much. I always feel inspired when I use it, and I really like it. So I thought what I would do is I would show you 3 different looks using one palette. I will fair warn you that most of the beginning steps are the same because there's very limited transition shades in here. There's actually only one transition shade and one sort of cream shade to set my lids. In each look, you'll see me set my lids with the shade Duchess right here and then go in with the transition shade that is called Strut. And I do use this shade Purr as a highlight because it is the lightest sort of highlighty shade that I can kind of get away with. You can also use holographic if you really wanted to, or if you're feeling bold, you can use this gold shade here. That is called Cat Eye. I really love this palette. I hope you guys enjoy these tutorials. They're going to be really quick and easy. If you have gotten this palette, let me know down below what your thoughts on it are and if you like the colors or if you feel inspired by them, because I really enjoy this palette so much. I hope you guys enjoy these tutorials. If you do, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Let's get into the video. The first look, which is probably my favorite, is this cranberry smoky eye, which I find perfect for the holidays. For all 3 of these looks, I prime my eyes using the NYX HD eyeshadow primer, and I'm just setting that down with the shade Duchess. Now on a fluffy brush, I'm going to take the shade Strut and apply this in between my brow bone and crease just to make a nice transition shade. And I'm applying this with very light pressure as to not put too much pigment. And then with more pressure, I'm going to take a more dense brush and use the same color just to deepen up my crease. Now I'm going to take the shade Boots and apply this on my outer V and then take it into my crease just to deepen up my crease a little bit more. I apply more pressure just on my outer V when I'm packing on the color and then lighten the pressure as I move it into my transition. This helps just to add a gradient effect, and then I just use the same brush that I use as my crease just to buff out any harsh edges. Now I'm going to take the shade Romeo and apply this all over my lid, just slightly over where I put Boots so there's no harsh edges, and then I clean that up with the fluffy brush that I used before with no additional product. Now I take the shade Duchess just to highlight my brow bone a little bit, and then for my lower lash line I'm going to take the shade Strut and apply this kind of loosely on my lower lash line, and then more concentrated towards the lower lash line I'm going to take the shade Boots just to give a little bit of a eyeliner effect. And then I'm going to take the shade Purr as my arch highlight and my inner corner highlight, and that's it. The next look is this very bronzed look. It's really easy to do and I think it's perfect for this time of year as well. To start off, again, I'm going to take the shade Duchess and just set my eyelid primer. I brought you guys really close in, so sorry about that. Now I'm going to take the shade Strut on this fluffy crease brush and I'm going to fill in the same as I did in my last look just to get a good transition going. And then I'm going to take the same shade and just deepen up the crease by applying a little bit more pressure to the actual crease. Now to deepen up my crease, I'm going to take the shade Boots lightly on a fluffy brush, and I'm just taking this lower and applying very light pressure and just slowly building up this color. I don't want it too deep, but I want it deep enough that you actually have a transition going on. And I am packing a little bit on the outer corner, but not a lot. And then I'm going to take the shade Cat Eye and apply it all over the lid. You can apply these shimmer shades with a brush, but I find you get the best payout using your finger, and then I'm just going to clean that up using the same brush that I use for my crease. I'm going to take a makeup wipe and clean up any fallout because there is fallout with this palette, and then I'm going to take the shade Boots just to deepen up my outer V just a little bit. Now I'm going to highlight my brow bone using the shade Duchess and then highlight my arch and inner corner with the shade Purr. It's just a really good color match for me as a highlighter. I like it. Okay, so to finish my look, I'm going to take the shade Strut for my lower lash lines, and what I like to do is apply light pressure, and then as I get closer to my lash line, I'll intensify the pressure, and that just gives you a nice gradient effect. And then I'm going to take the shade Boots on a flat shader brush, and I'm going to apply this directly to my lash line just to give a sort of eye-lined look, and then I'm going to go back in with the same brush that I used Strut and just sort of buff out that color. Now, just to add a little something, I'm going to take the shade Cat Eye, and I'm actually going to line the inner corner of my lower lash line, and it just adds a little something to the look. And that's it. That's the finished eye look. I hope you guys liked it. I find it so, so pretty. I love it. My last tutorial is going to be on this super simple, natural look. I wanted to give you more options than just dramatic looks. Again, to set my primer down, I'm going to use the shade Duchess just all over. Now for my transition shade, I'm going to go in with the shade Strut with very little pigment on my brush and very light pressure. And I'm just going to build up my transition a little bit. And then I'm going to go back in with the same brush and the same color with more pigment and more pressure just to deepen up my crease. In my opinion, this is one of the best transition shades because it's hard to go overboard and it's super blendable, and you can go light with it as well. Now I'm going to use my finger to apply the shade Purr all over my lid. Now I'm going to take the shade Cheshire and apply this to my outer V lightly, and then take it into my transition just to give a little bit more depth to my transition. I'm not going too heavy on this color. I'm going very light just to keep it natural. I really like the mattes in this palette because they're very blendable and buildable. It's very hard to go overboard, and if you do apply too much pigment, they're really easy to blend out. I love the mattes in this palette. I think they're really, really good. Now I'm just taking that first crease brush with no additional product and just blending out any harsh edges. And then I'm going to take the shade Duchess and apply that to my brow bone to highlight. And then again, apply Purr to my arch to highlight that as well. Now for my lower lash line, I'm going to take the shade Strut and apply this lightly to my lower lash line. I don't want this too intense because I am going for a more natural look. Then I'm going to take the shade Cheshire on a flat, sort of angled brush and just apply it as a liner just to half of my lower lash line. Then I'm going to take the shade Purr and highlight my inner corner, and that is it, guys. I forgot to do a slow-mo so you guys could see the completed look with mascara and everything else, so I just inserted a picture for you. Hey guys, that is it. I hope you enjoyed this video. The last tutorial you saw is actually the look that I have on my face right now. I wanted to do something very simple and natural to show you that you can get different looks out of the palette. Not just dramatic looks, but you can get actually everyday looks. For me, this is a very versatile palette. If you do like this video, please make sure you give it a thumbs up. It helps me out. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. You can also hit the bell notifications next to the subscribe button to be notified of every time that I post. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I'll see you on Monday. Bye.